Right, I think it's high time that we introduce our next guest. So, Tom from British Bird Gang, are you there? Sorry about the tech issues there, but let's get straight into it and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Tom. I've started the British Bird Gang nearly 9 years ago now. So, yeah, they came to be my team after playing Madden, and they randomly selected my player. That's how I decided to choose them to be my team. And since then, it's just been trying to find more British fans because there really isn't that many.
All right, sorry.
Have you done how many fans have you got in the sort of UK group?
I've not really counted for a while, but we continue to keep growing. We've got 4,000 odd followers on Twitter now.
Wow.
Facebook group's got 400 people in.
Yeah, I love that a lot. How do you feel the draft has gone so far for you? So you've got Zaven Collins at pick 16 and Rondale Moore at 49. Moore obviously fell quite away from where he might have been expected to have been picked, but perhaps not a need of yours.
Well, with the Collins pick, that wasn't really one that I had considered pre-draft because I didn't really see it as a need, but obviously the Cardinals think better than me. So, I'm happy with the pick. Now I've actually looked at him a bit more, found out more about him, Sounds like he'll be a starter before too long on the defense. So that's something to look forward to because our first round picks never usually do.
I think people would naturally presume with Patrick Peterson going that you were going to pick a corner.
Yeah, but it's hard to do that when I think the two that we coveted most were JC Horn and Patrick Surtain, and they both went 9th and 10th, didn't they? So we couldn't get them anyway.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Tell me a little bit about your fandom. So you started the group 9 years ago, and you obviously, as you said, started because of Madden. But what's your favourite moment so far in Cardinals fandom in the last decade or so?
The only really big thing so far, well, since I was a fan, has been the Super Bowl game. But that's been more than 10 years ago now, so can't keep living on those past glories. And we've not really been anywhere near since then. Although we did have 2014, 2015 when we had our best chance, but injuries derailed that. So,
yeah. How do you feel about the current coaching staff and the direction you're going at the moment? Obviously, the trade for why have I forgotten his name? The wide receiver you absolutely stole
Hopkins.
From Hopkins. Oh my God! I think you were the MVP of the league at that point. But are you sold on Cliff at the moment?
I am, yeah, personally, because obviously he came in when we were probably at our lowest, we've been since I've been a fan. Because we were coming off the dreadful 1 year of Steve Wilkes, and since then we've just seemed to go from. We went from that to 5 wins. Then last year we had 8 wins. We're just showing progress year on year. So hopefully that just keeps on going.
And I think you're in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL as well. So that's always going to be tough to kind of make that improvement when you're up against the Rams and the 49ers and the Seahawks all the time.
Yeah, since Sean McVay took over at the Rams, we haven't beaten them at all. So someday that'll end, we hope.
Fingers crossed for you on that point, man. We feel your pain until later on this year. We'd won one divisional game in the last 12 or something like that. So we all know about division problems. How do you... Well, let's go look forward to the rest of the draft. What do you want to see Arizona do with your next few picks? Is there anywhere that you need to plug, or are you going best player available? Is there anyone you've fallen in love with later on in the draft?
Every time I seem to put out names who I want us to draft, they end up going, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I just seem to care.
That's a good tactic.
Yeah, you don't want to speak into existence.
Yeah, sometimes it works, but other times it just ends up with disappointment. Last night I wanted Javonte Williams, but we couldn't get him because he'd already gone. So, I don't mind the Rondale Moore pick either because, we've other than DeAndre Hopkins last year, we didn't have really a reliable wide receiver. So hopefully he might come in and be that guy. along with AJ Green.
I think that the only problem with him is obviously longevity. He's had problems with his injuries. If he's available, I think he's going to be an absolute monster for you. His height, he's small, but he's got the second highest vertical leap of anyone in this draft, I think. And you watch him jump, he's going to compete with some of the tallest corners in the NFL. He's going to tower over them when he's jumping for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've got a small quarterback as well, so we don't really care about size, I don't think, just as long as he can play football. Yeah. That's the main important thing.
Absolutely. Where do you think, looking at the draft so far, how your divisional rivals have done, where do you think you might end up next year? Is the arrow still up for you, do you think?
I'd like to think so, yeah, because obviously, like, the other 3 teams in the division haven't really made that many picks yet, because they just seem to like trading them away. So, I mean, San Francisco have made their big move for Trey Lance, which I'm kind of worried about, because in that system, he might actually be a decent quarterback and they might be a challenge again. So,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I'm not sure it makes them better in year 1, but years 2 through 20 is potentially an issue. So we'll see. But you've got potentially the best quarterback in the division, or at least I know that one of our guys would certainly make that case, who isn't on at the moment but will appear later. He's a big fan of your man. And what do you want to see from him? I know that obviously he's shown a lot of promise. His deep ball is absolutely fantastic. The Hail Murray last year was spectacular, and he's got these shifty legs. I think he burned us for a big touchdown. Maybe that's completely off, but
he did. Yeah.
He burned us for a touchdown with his legs. But I think that people were expecting him to make this monumental leap into the MVP conversation last year, and while he played well, that maybe didn't quite develop. Are you worried that he's not showing the upward trajectory that perhaps his floor has shown? Because I think he is at his floor right now, which is spectacularly good anyway. But I would like to see improvement from him now.
Yeah, well, if you think back to last year, he started the season on fire, didn't he? With like first 4 or 5 weeks, he was just like amazing. And then he decided to try and truck a guy against Miami. And since then, he was like, his play just went down. So obviously, I think he learns, shouldn't do that in future. Go out of bounds, take a knee or something. Don't try and truck a guy, because you're not going to do it.
And Tom, there's a guy that we know quite well called Matthew Stafford, who used to play for the Lions, who unfortunately is now in the NFC West. What are your thoughts on Stafford arriving in your division? And do is that a big threat, do you think, or do you not think he's that big an upgrade over Jared Goff? What's your perspective on that?
Well, I'm actually quite a big Matt Stafford fan, really, because ever since I think it was the game against Cleveland when he came in with his dislocated arm,
yeah,
got
amazing.
to admire a guy like that, just taking everything for the team and, still giving more. So, yeah. I mean, he is an upgrade on Jared Goff, because I didn't really rate Goff at all, even though he beat us with, although maybe it was more the defense beating us than him. So, yeah, I am worried about Matt Stafford being in the division, but at least he can't really use his legs like Russell Wilson. That's one good thing.
No, he does take off every now and again, and he does like shifting around in the pocket, but he's not a big mover. That moment that you mentioned against Cleveland in his rookie year is still potentially one of my favourite moments in Lions history. I think there's a clip on NFL.com, and it's highlighted as, this is the longest uncut clip wire to wire in NFL.com's live playing library, because it's 2.5 minutes of just warrior mentality, and I think he is going to bring that against you. But your offense is so fearsome, and I know the Rams are good on defense, but they've lost a few pieces. We took Brockers in a trade. I can see the arrow up for you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, our offense will continue getting better, hopefully, with Cliff Kingsbury calling better plays, reading the situations better, taking what he gets, and like taking field goals when we should take them, and like not trying to go on 4th down all the time. Because last year we had a few like really close games. Had we kicked the field goal, could have been a completely different story. So hopefully he like learns from that.
Hopefully. Okay. Sorry, just trying to keep up with all of these picks coming in. They're so thick and fast right now. I think we're coming towards the end of our time with you, Tom. But is there anything you want to plug or tell us about the British Bird Gang? I've really enjoyed your Twitter account actually since we started following it and made contact with you. So, is there anything that you can tell us about what the fan group does or anything like that?
Well, I like to think we're the best Arizona Cardinals group in the whole of the UK, but I think we're really the only one who's active. So that's not really a hard thing to be. So, just continue growing really at the moment. Put out a podcast every week when it's the season, and like in the off season when there isn't, like we try and do podcasts, that sort of thing. I just like to be active really.
I love it, man. The UK NFL podcast community is vibrant and getting bigger, and really hope that we can collaborate with you in the future. If we're playing against each other, either or on yours or ours, that would be a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, we do seem to play you literally every single year. So
we're playing you this coming year, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
It's going to be fun. So hopefully, maybe we'll speak to you later on in the season. Tom, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cheers, Tom.
Cheers,
Good
Tom.
luck for the rest of the draft.
Thanks, Tom.
And to you, man. Thank you.